This message here, this message here is for everyone. So let me, we're gonna get right into it. This is for everyone who hates me, for everyone who loves me, everyone who. This message is for all of humanity. We've all been tricked, and to reverse what's been done to humanity does not take a single person dying, firing a gun, taking a vaccine, signing a petition. Nothing has to be done except what's done by you. So, humanity, I'm offering you this gift. Two things I'm offering you. Well, I'm not offering you. These two things that already belong to you. You just aren't aware of it and have not been made aware of it. So, I'm going to do two things while I talk to you today. I'm going to try on these glasses and give you a message at the same time. Take a close look at the glasses. It's very important that you see them because I'll tell you at the end who they belong to. But nonetheless, humanity, we have been, let me get right into it. So, no one hates anyone, no one loves anybody, everybody's everybody. All people are people. Fuck these people people who call themselves Jews, people who call themselves blacks, or call themselves transgender. All that's all a trick. It's all a lie. We've all been lied to. And all of humanity is guilty of one thing. 100% of all humanity. And we have self-inflicted all the pain you see going on in the world right now is self-inflicted 100%, and there is not one single human being who is not involved with it. All of us have all collectively done it. And what is it? How do you fix or save humanity? You save humanity by the number one rule that God gives to humanity. God gives humanity something called consent, which means that God says, hey, there's a place called, let's call this place Earth for now. Let's call it Earth, that you can live around. Now, here's the thing. You can do what you want to do. You got a choice. And not even God takes away your ability to do what you want to do. You always are given a choice. So why has humanity been damned? Humanity has been damned because every single one of you have followed the same curse and followed the same sin. And the sin that you've done is the one sin that God will not do. God gives you your consent. However you relate God, whether you think it's a spirit, whether you think it's you, whatever. I'm using this as a point of reference for us to understand for this conversation. So do not think I'm a preacher. I am none of those things. Do not think I'm a pastor or reverend. None of those things. I'm not trying to say any of these things. I'm only saying God, just as we can just have a point of reference, whether it's you, whether it's a tree, whether it's a plant. So whatever your perception of God is, even God says you have consent. 100%, you make a choice. So, anyone out here who think you're smart, all of you, and you watch The Matrix and you're like, damn, The Matrix is basically saying that whether you take the red pill or the blue pill, you're still going to be in another matrix. It don't matter, right? And the answer is correct. So the answer is very true. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't, because humanity, you fucked up. You broke the law. All of you, 100%. And you did it. And you do it every day. And you took away the consent. And for you people out there who are waiting for me to talk about these things start with a V and end with an E, no, I'm not talking about that kind of consent. That's a different kind of consent. That is even less, I say, less diabolical than the crime that we are taking part in every day, and we don't know it. So humanity, let me tell you what you need to do to fix everything right now. What you've done, humanity, is you put yourself in front of God and you named your children. There you go, humanity. You damned all of us when you named your children. When you name your children, you give them a vibration. And the vibration they get is a vibration that you give them, mom, dad. However, that is not what your child chose as their name. So whenever you name your child or a child, you take away the ability for them to say yes or no, and yes, that's who I am. You didn't give the person the consent to name themselves, i.e. their vibration. If you want someone to come to your house, to paint your house, you call a painter. A person who kills someone in cold blood is called a murderer. These are frequencies. So these are frequencies that you put on a particular act or an action. So when you name your child Destiny, well, that is a frequency you're putting on that child. But in her heart, her name is to her love. So you didn't give her consent for her to live her true frequency because you named her what you chose to name her. You're not a bad person for that. We all did it. We didn't know. We breaking God's law by taking away consent to our children by us naming them. They're supposed to choose their own names. They're supposed to get to an age, I'm assuming the age is probably 12, or these ages they use randomly, but an age where they see enough of the world to say, wow, I really like how this man protects his house. I want to name, that's the name that I want for myself. And that's just strength. Because now you get to see enough of the world to see what you like and what you don't like, and what you resonate with and what you don't resonate with. And the things you resonate with, you get to name yourself those frequencies that you resonate with and be your true self. So if you want to fix all the problems of the world, and I know it seems a simple answer, but I tell you what, Langston Hughes has a character by the name Simple. Langston Hughes is my favorite poet, and Simple is my favorite character in Langston Hughes' books and poems and stuff. Big up to Langston Hughes, Hall of Renaissance, can you dig it? So keep looking at the glasses, because it's very important that you understand that I'm not just doing this to be a cool cat daddy. This has a purpose to it. I think if you've been following me long enough, you realize that I'm doing something for a message that the people who can't see it can understand that. I'm putting all this out here for everyone to see, and I'm not hiding it because people who are on the frequency with God frequency can't even see it. So if people say, oh, you telling away too much, oh, you giving, no. You can only hear this. This only be heard by certain ears and seen by certain eyes. But if you're wicked, you can't see what I'm saying or hear what I'm saying, or you can't hear what I'm seeing or see what I'm hearing. Can you dig it? So, you name your children a frequency. For example, I have a stepdaughter who, I don't want to use the word despises me, but it was somewhere in the family. And she always has an internal struggle. And she always feels cursed internally because she does things that she views as bad and mean and horrible. And she can't figure out why she's having an internal struggle with herself. And basically trying to figure out, I just don't want to be this person. Because her mother named her wrong. And she put her on a frequency that is not her. So she's having an internal struggle with who she wants to be versus on who she is. So when we sign that birth certificate, they keep telling you about these bonds. It's a bond. You are bonding yourself to accepting, yes, this is who this person is. And when doing that, you have taken away consent from that brand new spirit. That brand new spirit is not to be named by you. You ain't smart or wise enough to name this spirit that come into this plane. None of you, except me. None of you. So, why doesn't anyone mention how funny Malcolm X was? Anyone who thinks Malcolm X is just some angry guy who just spouting off, man, watch Malcolm X. Malcolm X is hilarious. Malcolm X by far is the funniest civil rights icon of all times. I guarantee. For the people who haven't really listened to Malcolm X, listen to Malcolm X. So here's how this works. And Malcolm X said it very, very clearly and fantastically. Malcolm X says you are who you are, and no one can change who you are. You can't just name something one thing and call it the other. He said, Malcolm X said, you can't take a cat and put in the oven and call it biscuits. You understand? It's still a damn cat. If you put it in the oven, you put a cat in the oven. You can't call it biscuits. Now, he said it funny. He's Malcolm X. Malcolm X was hilarious. So you are putting your little baby gods, because they come here perfect. They just talk to God when they take their first breath. And you think that you have the wisdom and the authority to say, whoa, my name is Jim Jenkins. I'm sorry, Jim Jenkins. It's not an offense, because I don't even know anybody named Jim Jenkins. I'm just using a random name. So please don't send me no hate mail if your name is Jim Jenkins. But you think that because I feel so great about me and I love me so much, I'm going to name my son or my daughter or whatever, this name. Well, you, my friend, have taken away consent of a God. So, well, how do I talk to my kids? When someone says, how we do it is simple. You say, well, hey, what's your son's name? Oh, I call him the one who's generous. Or I call her the one who likes to read. So, let the child take some time to see this thing, see this world. Let them smell, let them taste, let them run, let them see the world, and let them see what they like and what frequency resonates with them. And let them name themselves, i.e. giving them consent. It's consent, you're giving back consent. So for all you people out there who are law enforcement people, I want you to consider something. We are on a very magical place. The plane that we are on is very magical. And it's simple. If you do something over here, it's going to show up over there. Yin and yang, balance, all that stuff. For all you people out there who are law enforcement buffs and love law enforcement, and you love throwing people in prisons and jails, I want you to understand that since you consent to putting people in physical prisons and jail, and you consenting with it and going along with that, you also give consent to put somebody else in jail, i.e. these little kids who have this thing called autism. We're doing it to ourselves. When you consent to put people in prisons and cages, you're also consenting to do it to yourself. So please, change your name. Please, for humanity's sake, change your name. Change it to a name that you admire. You understand that? If you have a son and you keep calling him shithead, and his name is, let's say his name is Peter. Perfect example. Let me give you a perfect example. Perfect example. There is a man out there. He works for an organization by the name of the International Association for the Prevention of Blindness. And he was shown in December of 2019 the cure for something that the World Health Organization, the CDC, the Rockefeller Foundation, MIT, Oxford, Stanford, everyone they all know that preventable blindness and unrefractive error has been resolved. I gave it to them and I gave it to humanity for free. In exchange, they gave me, let's try to kill this nigga. But that's another more hilarious conversation. But let me explain something to you. This person who works for this organization called the International Association for the Prevention of Blindness, he was given the technology for free because this is the organization he works for. And instead of so he's responsible for the vision of more than 5 billion people who do not have access to vision. So he's responsible for 5 billion people. This guy. And you know what his name is? His name is Philip Hoare. I swear to God, his name is Philip Hoare. Because you understand, that only a fucking whore would sell out humanity, all of humanity, for some money. You understand the whole 5 billion people? But when you name your son Philip Whore, there's nothing that he won't do. And I just realized that. Man, his name is Whore. And he literally sold out all of humanity. But what makes it so worse is he works for an organization called the International Association for the Prevention of Blindness. And this man has hid the answer to the International Association for the Prevention of Blindness for money. That's a whore. Can you dig it? That's a whore. Can you dig it? So, you people out there who don't know who the fuck you are and they keep telling you that you are trans, take all that shit out about everything, about anything. You go outside and take a walk and smell and drink something, have a glass of wine, walk around, take a swim, do something, and you see what you like doing. And you put yourself on that frequency and you become that. So if you see yourself as a boss bitch, then you make it official. Your name is Boss Bitch. If your name is Can You Dig It, then you make it official. How do you make it official? Well, the system's simple. You find a recording, you get your phone, and you say, my name is Can You Dig It? And going forward, anyone who sees me will refer to me as Can You Dig It? You do the same thing and get yourself 3 witnesses and record it, and you timestamp it. That is your proof. Anyone outside of that, fuck them. You're going to need to do this, I promise you, because your system is broke. Your records are going to be gone. So you can still stay a part of this system that's broken with the records attached to you. Or you can just say, let me name myself. So anything that I do is my consent. Can you dig it? So I want to understand, you to understand that this here is called the message. Because this is the message that I've been waiting for. And I know I said that I was waiting for a message last week, and I was. But this is the message. Change your name. Change your frequency. If you call your son shithead and he answers to it, that's an acknowledgement. He's going to be a shithead. It's that simple. Everything's about consent. We give you an option, you make a choice. And most importantly, for you people out there who like to say, oh, I'm staying neutral, let me tell you, in the best terms I can explain to you, anyone out there who's saying I'm staying neutral, you are a bitch. Humanity's biggest fucking coward is you, Mr. or Mrs. Neutral. You are a bitch. Fuck you, neutral. Get back on message. Matter of fact, let me put on some pink polka dots because I know how to change the energy. If you can sit and watch babies get slaughtered by the millions and just sit and watch and say, I'm not in it, you, my friend, are a piece of shit. So, on a high note, you want a better life? Change your frequency. Change your frequency by changing what you, God, calls yourself God. Because if we are God and we're able to manifest our thoughts, well, what do you think of yourself? So whatever you think of yourself, God, you call yourself that. Goddesses. You call yourself what you resonate with, gods and goddesses. And we fix humanity. Can you dig it? Now, one more thing. People aren't going to understand all this right now, but give them a little while, they're going to pick up on it. And my gift to you, humanity, you don't like these glasses you've seen? Mr. Can You Dig It, Rack? Can you dig it? Don't even fucking matter. They're yours. This technology, all these frames you saw are yours. I donated all this shit to you. Every single human being on the planet will receive a commission from every pair of glasses getting sold that bear the name iFocus. I'm not taking any money from it. I don't need it. I'm a can you dig it? So I am sharing all of this. This technology, everything, whenever any pair of glasses that gets sold bearing this name, you are buying from yourself and you get an income from yourself. And what you didn't probably know is that if the iPhone was given to humanity for the first 5 years and just given to the people, every person on the planet will receive an equivalent of about $230,000 if someone thought it was a good idea to share a technology with humanity instead of a company by the name of Apple. So this technology here, for the folks who don't understand it, you'll catch and figure it out pretty soon, is 100 times more valuable than that piece of shit they call an iPhone. So whether you like me or hate me, it don't matter. You now own this shit. This pair of glasses you're looking at, you own this. This is yours. This technology belongs to you. I hope you like it because it's yours. So if you want to talk shit about it, you are talking shit about yourself. Can you dig it? So, for the folks who don't understand everything that's being said right now, I want to say this. This pair of glasses right here is called the Esperanza Spalding. This pair right here. And just in case you don't know which one I'm talking about, I'm saying specifically the Esperanza Spalding. She made a song called Black Gold. I took that song and I plagiarized her hook and made my song. So this pair of glasses might not even be right because I saw this, and when I see her, these are the colors I see when I see her music, because I can see her music. But it's still her choice. But I'm for now calling these Esperanza Spaldings. And I am calling these the Jay-Z Blues right here. And when I'm talking about Jay-Z, I mean Jay-Z, Sean Carter, Hova. This is the Jay-Z Blue. This pair of glasses right here. I dare y'all to sue me. Please sue me. But I made a decision. I'm going to take all your names, all of your names. And I dare anyone to sue me. And for you guys in Baltimore who aren't clever enough to know what's going on here, let me take care of this real quick. For you attorneys and institutions in Baltimore, i.e. You black attorneys, you black churches, you black pediatricians, you black pediatricians, I swear to God that you say one thing about me in paper or anything recorded, I'm going to have a very amazing video about you. I promise you, and it's going to be very, very specific. Rest assured, I dare you to say something about me, and I'm going to give you some, I dare you. So humanity, not everybody's, this is a very weird message, but I assure you, humanity, change your name, change your frequency, change the world. Like, if you come from England, it's cold there, right? Isn't it always cold and dreary in England, right? Follow me. Forget the angry guy. He left out the, he's done being angry for a second, but he just had to let them know that I dare you. Back to the nice guy. See, that's why I got to change my name, to keep my frequency at a particular place. The cat daddy stays cool. That's why I got to stay cat daddy so I can stay on message. So for a little while, I'm going to resort back to my cat daddy ways so I can give you this message about you seeing Santana, because he's So, England is cold, right? England's always cold, and it's always cold. Always raining. It's always cold, right? I wonder if the people who came from England came to America and then named it New England, and then we all agreed with it, giving it our power, thus consenting, and then it changed the weather to be like England. Has anyone considered that? That when, you don't think that there's any other words in the English language other than England, you couldn't name anything else? You could have. But if you want the frequency of England, you've got to name it England, even if it's over there. And when we consent to that, you're going to get the fucked up weather. So understand, we are doing it to ourselves. And we keep getting off track because we're in a system that's putting us off track, clearly. But we've been started off. You start off from birth cursed because you have been given a frequency and you are not living your true life and who you are, and your parents have sinned. If you want to know what the original sin is, the original sin is naming an angel. That's a God you're naming. They named themselves. Can you dig it? So, in closing, Philip Hoare change your name, change your actions, and we can forget about you. But I got a sneaking suspicion there might be some more videos coming out about you, Philip Hoare. So I ask you, for the sake of your children, and I don't mean safety, I mean sake. I mean that your son, your daughter, your wife, anybody who's in your neighborhood who thinks that you're a nice guy because you work for an organization called the International Association for the Prevention of Blindness. Oh, by the way, since everyone wants to play that's the crazy nigga game, I'm going to give you the paperwork and the video of the conversation of him acknowledging that preventable blindness and unrefractive error is over. So call me a nigga all you like, don't matter. So you watch the video and you call the video a nigga. So what I'm asking, Mr. Philip Hoare, change your name, man. When you name yourself whore, you live in that vibration of a whore. Whore. And a whore will sell anything, including their soul. Whore. So Mr. Whore, change your name. Change your vibration, change your frequency. Tell the world that no one has to go blind anymore. Mr. Whore. And you don't tell them, then don't worry about it. I'm gonna tell your neighbors. I'm gonna tell your daughters, your sons, your cousins. I'm gonna tell the whole fucking world that you, one single person, gets to hide blindness from 5 billion people, and you think he's a nice guy. Understand, he is not a nice guy. He is a demon. Now, I don't want to beat up on Mr. Philip Hoare so much because he is an employee for a machine, a system. The president of the International Association for the Prevention of Blindness, what do you think his name is? His name is Dick. Can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. His name is Dick. It took a dick and a whore to keep blindness from all of humanity. So don't name your children Dick or whore ever again. You make sure those names are burnt forever and history loses those names. You don't name your children these frequencies because you don't want to walk around with a little dick or a big whore. Can you dig it? So, if you guys don't want to tell the world that blindness, unrefractive error, and preventable blindness has been resolved, I'm going to tell your neighbors. I already told your employees. I'm going to tell your children's friends and your children's friends' friends so they can play the look at the nigga game with you. Look at the nigga. Look at the nigga. He didn't tell people that blindness, unrefractive error, preventable blindness has been resolved and was given to him for free. And you get to watch him say, how much do you want to charge for this? And I had to explain to him, I'm giving this away. But a whore don't know nothing about humanity and giving something away. A whore only cares about money. And the only person worse than the whore who cares about money is the dick who comes in and pays the whore. Can you dig it? That dick that pays the whore, all of them. Tell the world that unrefractive error and preventable blindness has been resolved. Because I'm definitely telling the world about dicks and whores. And I'm not even cursing. I'm just saying your name. But you've been cursed by your name. So, humanity. Stop calling it humanity, by the way. And stop calling it mankind, by the way. It doesn't have a name. We start calling ourselves something different because these are spells and they're tricks. It's like they tell us to say hello to people. We greet people by saying hello, and it's like, wait a minute, what are you saying? Hell and low. Like, God damn. They're making us cast spells on ourselves by corrupting our language. So for example, we stop saying the word okay, and we're saying all right. Instead of saying hello, we can say peace and blessings, because hell and low are not a frequency you should want to greet somebody with. So it's your words. It's our words. We're doing it to ourselves. So to recap, if you say anything about me from Maryland, the city, and the state that my residence, I am going to embarrass you and your name to the world. And for the folks who have decided to go along and work for the devil, y'all know what unrefracted preventable blindness is. So y'all know history's already been made. So now I get a chance to give them your first and middle last name and explain your dastardly deeds in a very important book. And I will talk about your children's names and your cousins' names and your mother's names. So Philip Hoare over there in England and his boss, Dick, I'm not even going to tell you what his other name is because his name is Dick. It tells you enough. Everyone in the world is going to know what you two did. And it's going to be in a very important book. And your name is going to be erased from history from what you did. And that's how you kill a god. And that's why it was so important for the Africans, slaves, and they had to rename them. That's why they call when a woman gets a hysterectomy. It's like that the suffix, the suffix ectomy is to remove, to cut off. You're cutting off your history. So we're throwing, these are spells. When you remove a hysterectomy, your history stops. Whatever you've done, it's over from there. So they're spells. So the people who are watching this, who know what I'm doing, especially the ones who know I'm coming for them, I will offer you this. Start working for the right side. And it's gonna be easy once you change your name. Change your name, start working for the right side. Because if you don't, you know that I name names. You're gonna see about that in 2 days. Man, can I name names in a fantastical way. So I'm giving you an option to renounce what you have done. Change your name and start working for good. And if you've done something horrible, I already forgive you. Humanity forgives you. You had the wrong frequency. You started off in the wrong place. So we already forgive you. But you take this opportunity to do the right thing because y'all know that who I talk to is undefeatable. Y'all know it. So keep trying to convince the people who don't understand what's going on that I'm a crazy nigga. But just understand that we're connected. And we're connected. I'm going to make a movie about you. And it's going to be, whatever it's going to be the truth. Whether you did something beautiful or whether you did something that humanity or what we're calling ourselves, this experiment. What you're doing right now is going to be remembered until the next reset. So your name is going to be the equivalent of the word shit for the next 26,000 years. So get in the right team and all that can be erased. But keep riding this frequency. Keep allowing suffering of people who are in those bars. Keep putting people in cages. Keep doing that because that's going to break too. And when it breaks, they letting those people in those cages out. And I'm on record letting them know I fought for you with everything that I got. And they took everything that they thought they could take from you. So, in closing, this went on longer than I anticipated. However, You want to save the world? You're not happy with yourself? Change your name. You. If your parents do not consent to you changing your name, too fucking bad. It ain't their job. They don't have the authority or the power to tell you who you are and who you are not. Only one person can tell you that, and that is God. And your God, or maybe your God, talks to you, not your parents or your wife. Change your name to something that you feel is more true, and be that. And just try to be a better version of yourself. And once you change your name, I promise you, you're gonna see it's much easier to be that better version of yourself once you've named your frequency properly. And for the folks out there who like Easter eggs, I challenge you to watch the movie Arrival. It's about some aliens turned up to the earth. Watch the movie Arrival, and all your answers to every single thing that's going on in the world right now is revealed in that movie, because I wrote it. I mean, I didn't write that movie, but the story is a story that I wrote. But don't believe me, check my sources, and because I know people out there want to play look at the nigga. So play that game, but just watch the movie. Please fact check me, and please make it very clear, I dare you to say something bad about me, even kind of bad, even something not conceived as might be bad. I dare you. Dare you. Shots fired. So, in closing, Marilyn Mosby, do not trust nobody other than Nick Mosby. And I don't mean your raggedy, disgusting black attorney if you got one. Your doctor. Do not trust no one but your husband. And for anything, do not seek any refuge in that church, because they house the devil. Understand that the Masonics and the Masons, you understand that 90% of the niggas I know, 100% of the men who describe themselves as African American don't know that when they become a Mason, that the God they're worshiping is the devil. But you just say if you want to hide something from a nigga, you put it in the book. Like these niggas walking around here with Mason rings and crosses don't realize that that's the goddamn devil. So they have a secret alliances with all of the black churches. You understand? They try to get these people. They got the Empowerment Temple. Won't I give you another shout out? Like y'all making people take the COVID vaccine. They got to produce copies of tests in order for them to come and talk to God and to hear from God. You understand that these people are born in this building and God ain't nowhere to be found in that building. They are it. Tell them to walk out of that building. Walk out of these buildings. These people inside these buildings are nothing but demons and liars. Now, he's an angry guy, but I'm smart enough to know that frequency of truth don't lie. They are not for the people. They are not for the people. They are not doing their civic duty. So, Lena Pastel, can you dig it? Lina Pastel, Pastel. Pull up her music. I don't want to say fire because it's cliche, but it's super hot. So, my message to humanity, let's fix this right now. Change your name, change your frequency, change the world. Can you dig it? 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 Yeah. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Change your name. Oh. I wore pants free today. I thank so much of you, humanity, that I wore pants and I put on smart people glasses to let you know we changed our name, we changed our frequency. We changed names back to places they used to be called. It's a beautiful frequency, something beautiful. We get that weather back. So if you're in New England and it's cold as fuck, it's because you acknowledged You acknowledge and all agree to say, hey, this is going to be the new England. Well, cool. Here comes the new fucking cold. So don't do that. The same way the New York. You understand? You're the new version of it, and you consent to it whenever you say you're going there or you're there. Let's change the names to beautiful frequencies and change the weather, because we are the power. We had the power to change the weather with our consent. So let's make our consent and say, you know what, New England, let's call it something like an oasis, so we can get weather of an oasis. Let's call places like Baltimore paradise, so we can get the weather. Let's put it on the frequency of a beautiful vibration instead of a piece of shit like Lord Baltimore. Piece of shit. Let's call it something different. But your choice. You're supposed to choose. And the devil made us egotistical and make us put our likeness on things. And we name things and we consent to it. We consent to it. I'm sorry, I'm making sure I don't know if that's still her. I don't want to. Because we're egotistical maniacs and we're all gods. Well, you can believe it or not, all of us are gods individually. The best way to think about it is like this for a second. And this is comic and cartoon, but I want you to think about this is a shell that we're in, and we crawl into this big thing that we call a body. So our job, this temple, our job is to guard this temple. We're the gods. We are the god of this temple. If you think about that like that for a second, what's happening is you got people trying to take your God power. Well, just understand, if you think about like that you are the God, then you get to manifest what you want, and it starts with you naming who you want to be. So because you are a God and you name yourself who you want to be, as a God, you get to manifest whatever you want, whenever you want, and wherever you want. So get rid of your birth certificate, get rid of the consent, name who your frequency truly is, and if your frequency is freako, hey, be that. We need them. Listen, be what you are. Like, listen, and don't let nobody shame you for nothing. There's nothing wrong. If you have sex with 1 million men, that doesn't make you anything except a woman who's had sex with 1 million men. These are physical things. Don't worry about that shame shit. So you be your true self. Be your true self. But be honest with yourself and name yourself honestly. And if you can, if you see something beautiful in a frequency that you feel is part of you, that you would like to emulate, then do it. Even if you want to name your frequency something like blue. You know? I hope I haven't bored you. I'm wearing my smart people glasses, and I'm even wearing pants today for anyone who's watching, because this is important. This is the message. Change your name. Change the world. Can you dig it?